Hi everybody, can you guys hear me? No. Hello, hello. Oh, there I am. Okay. So sorry for the delay, guys. I had some serious difficulties today with technology. Oh, hi Allison. Hi. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Let me see if I can see the chat here. Yes. Okay. Just put this here so I can see you guys. Wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So sorry for the delay again, but we made it. Hi. Well, yay. Okay, so how is everybody doing? I wanted to do this live because it has been a bit crazy with the energies, especially the last like 3 weeks, right? And I think we have been going through very strong processes of transformation, liberation, purging also a lot, especially for the divine feminine, as I have seen. But it's also a great time to, it's like we are rebuilding our foundation, right? So anything that wasn't working for us anymore, and especially in regards to relationships, in regards to our relationship to ourselves, um, and even the relationship to God and the relationship to, I'm saying, to our time. Like they're showing me these buildings. Like sometimes we get caught up in this modern world, right? And what they're saying is like we are infinite beings, so we're always able to take a step back and to gather our energies again wherever we had been, scattering perhaps, or wherever we were maybe putting too much input or giving too much to something that wasn't feeling right or was feeling very uphill. We can always take back those energies, reformulate, restructure in our own body, in our own consciousness, in our own energy or energy field. And then we can go back out there and come in with a fresh perspective, with a new way of seeing, right? And also a new way of relating. Because as we know, we are energy beings, right? And everything that we relate to, we form these energy channels with, or we create these links of energy. So when something is still vibrating at a lower frequency, or it's just not moving as fast as we are, we may feel like we're getting pulled back or pulled down by these energies. And it's not even that there's something wrong with us, or there's something wrong with you or with whoever is going through this. It's more like we haven't let go of the attachment to the old in order to make space and create a void for all of the new energies that are constantly streaming in. Okay, just catching up on the chat here. If you want, guys, you can let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I would love to know from what part of the world you're coming in here. Let me see, I can't see all the chat here. Second. Oh, there we are. Okay. Perfect. Hi, Star Fairy. Hi, Spiritual Love. Okay. Yeah, Pennsylvania. How beautiful. So why don't we take a deep breath in, just to kind of like ground our energies. And I feel also strongly feeling a lot like the feminine, the divine feminine, but also just the feminine energy in the planet. At this time, it's like it's activating and it's very powerful, but it can also feel overwhelming sometimes when we have these huge activations and then our bodies are like, what just happened? Like we just received like this bolt of energy, and sometimes we need time to adapt, or we need certain energy healing protocols that help us sort of navigate through this, or help us build like a better um, infrastructure, or amplify our capacity to receive that influx of energy. Okay. Fort Worth, Texas, India. Wow. Nice. Yes, and since the eclipse, it's been nonstop actually. But I also feel like we're coming into kind of like a lighter part of the year, like from now until the rest of the year. It's like we're still a little bit uphill, but we are already gaining momentum, and we're about to start going like this. And then we're going to have a bit of a smoother ride coming October, November, December. Okay, so let me see. Before I go into the questions, I just want to see if there's anything that comes through for you guys. No matter if you watch this now or later, it's the same thing. Yeah. Okay. May was very eventful. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I think for everybody, big changes. I have also been seeing like a lot of light workers, starseeds, twinflames, however you call them or however you interpret that. Hi, Kylie. I'm seeing that we're being prepared somehow to start moving a little bit, maybe to change location, maybe to go to, even if it's within your city or within your space, like if you feel called to go somewhere, or you remember a place of your childhood, or you feel drawn to go to your place of birth, that can be very nurturing right now, um, to just help us ground better, and also connect to our purpose here, to our mission. It's like wiping the slate clean and saying, okay, I've done this so far. What am I now? Like, who am I birthing into right now? And what do I want to create in my life? How do I want to be? And I always talk about this creative principle because it's really the rebirth of the divine feminine on earth. It's the feminine energy, the one that is constantly birthing itself. Hi, dear Lulia. Hi. Oh, nice that you're here. Glad you guys could join. I had a little bit of trouble getting online today. Um, so, just like, if we think about feminine or females, right? The cycles that we have, and how each part of the cycle represents something. We are constantly going through this cycle of death and rebirth. Like we do this every month, in different stages, but just like the moon, we're always in in this process of transformation. Like there is no moment where we stop in a way. Like we're always transforming and evolving and integrating more and more. So that's why having, like your practice or doing even all these ritualistic practices, I highly encourage them. Also to find your own rituals, to create your life and create the rituals that go with your life, that support your life. Because if we don't create that sacred space for us in our lives, like they were saying with a busy world, then it's very hard to expand those moments of sacredness. So it's really important, especially in the beginning, that we really form these spaces, that we really commit to these spaces and to ourselves, because really it's just a commitment to us, right? Doing our practice, doing our spiritual practice, doing, even if it's self-care, or doing things that you love, going out, going to a mountain, doing something crazy, whatever enlivens your soul. We have to remember to do those things in a regular basis, so that our spirit comes more in touch with, with the spirit, with our higher self, with our mission. If we constrain ourselves to an artificial world, which is what most of us have been sort of like influenced to do, just because of the day and age that we're living in and the technology and everything. Like if we trap ourselves in that, we can pass, like our whole lives can go, and we will feel confined. And if you're feeling confined, that's usually just a good reason, a good sign that your soul is telling you to release yourself from that, release those barriers, release those ways of thinking, release yourself from that entrapment. And that entrapment usually comes from our mind. That's why all of the spiritual traditions, all of the ancient teachings, all of the yogic teachings, like there is like the first part, it's just about getting out of prison, literally getting out of the prison of your mind, understanding your mind well enough so that it doesn't fool you, so that you don't cheat yourself, so that you don't lie to yourself, so that you don't imprison yourself, so that you don't self-sabotage. That's why we do spiritual practice, and why discipline, meditation, learning about our mind, understanding. That's why we go through all that process, so that our mind finally starts to obey us, so that our mind starts to become a friend instead of, the person or the voice in your head that tells you all the time that you're not worthy enough, that you're not good enough, that you can't do this, that you can't do that. We need to really train the mind and just put her in the proper place, Because sometimes even if we do all these types of affirmations and I don't know what, like there has to be this commitment from the soul to really say, you know what, enough is enough. From today on, everything I do will support me in this task of becoming sovereign, becoming my own soul, my own person, my own self. And if I start hearing those voices, if my mind starts to self-sabotage, I will become aware, I will see it, and I will stop right there. I will stop it right there. And I know it sounds kind of easy to do, but it's of course one of the hardest things to do, to catch ourselves and to be aware enough of our own behavior and the way that we deal with ourselves so that we can actually change it. So the first part of our spiritual journey is all about mastering that awareness, cultivating and cultivating and cultivating awareness. And if that's the only thing you do, it will change your life. Like, it will eventually change your life, because awareness is like you becoming the observer. When you become the observer, you become consciousness, you become intelligence, like divine intelligence. And divine intelligence knows always what to do. That's what we also activate when we heal, right? When we as healers heal or provide healing, we can know all the techniques in the world, we can study with great masters, we can know the sacred teachings, but what happens in that moment of healing is something that is so like beyond anything that could even fit in a rational mind, that could even be explained or translated by the mind. And our soul, on the other hand, knows exactly what that is. So our soul is like guiding the whole process and saying, yes, this is coming in, this goes here, you do that. And the soul tells the mind what to do, not the other way around. When I work with my students, for example, from Brave, or if I'm working with someone who is developing their spiritual gifts and starting to heal, for example, always in the first healings, like the fear is, but what if I do it wrong, or what if I get confused, or what if I don't know what to do in the moment, you know? And that's very normal. But the work of the healer has to be done before that moment arrives, has to be done with their own healing, with their cultivation of awareness, and also the cultivation of intuition and your connection to source, so that you are so connected to God and you are so aware that you don't even need a translator. The energy just pours through you and you know exactly what to do, where to put your hands, what to say, what to ask. It's like spirit takes over you somehow, you know? It's like God, this intelligence, divine intelligence taking over you, or rather being activated in you, because you have become a vessel that can carry that frequency. So that's the path of the healer in many ways, to become that vessel. And it's not easy to become that vessel, right? It's a path with a lot of challenges and things, but it's also an amazing adventure. But so when that happens and that just comes through, like, even me, that, you know, you guys know me and I have been doing this for many, many years. Like, the first healings that I gave I was like 15. And each healing to date is completely different and is completely unique. And I never know what's going to happen. Like, I never know what to expect, like how is it going to play out, because it's so individual. Because each person, each of you, have your own energetic constitution. You are so unique. Your gifts are so unique. Your colors, your frequencies, your interpretations, your viewpoints, your eyes, like everything about you is completely different. So when I, for example, do healing, I can talk about my work. It's like we connect in that higher level with your higher soul, and then the higher soul of you, or of the patient, of the client, starts to say what it needs. That divine intelligence gets activated, and we start to exchange through that higher mind, and then it downloads through me, and I know exactly what to do, what they need, where is the ailment, what can we do, you know? And it's actually a job of many people. Like, people say, oh, you're a healer, or oh, this person is a healer. Yes, but you're also healing yourself just by being there, receptive to healing. You're also engaging your higher self, whether you're conscious of this or not. because we're all divine beings. There's no divine being. Like, all humans have a soul, have that potential of divinity within. We're all divine, but some are more conscious, some are more evolved. We're all in different stages, right? But when we open ourselves up to that divinity, when we say, yes, I receive, you activate that healing in you. And the healer, right, or me or whoever, is just a conduit that knows, because we have worked with energy, we know what it means, we're able to translate, and we're able to help you harness that information that is coming through your soul and help put it into work in your body. But your body, your soul, your teams, because we all have our teams. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about this if you guys want to. We all have our guides, our spiritual guides. We are not alone, never. And when we heal, and especially healers, we have a lot of support there too. I don't talk about that so much because sometimes, I don't like to sort of like derail the attention from the healing or from what's occurring in that moment, because some things are necessary to say and some things are not necessary to say. But in my practice, I have seen like a lot of helpers come in when I'm with a person. And there are particular helpers that work with me a lot, that I see since I was a little child. They have always been there. And I have seen them even, not in healing or during meditation, but I have seen them when I got anesthesia and in like life or death situations, But we have a lot of support. So it's important to have that openness of the heart and that connection to God, and to, it's basically connecting to stream of love, of divinity. That's the most powerful source there is. Like, you can heal yourself right now if you said, you pray or you just connect to source and you say, God, please bring healing energy into my hands and help me heal my heart, or my foot or wherever you need that. You can just do that and ask your angels, your guides, to help you, to assist you in downloading this energy, to help you heal, clear, protect, and restore to perfect balance. You breathe in. And that's it. And that was just 1 second or 10 seconds. I don't know how much it was. Right? So it's important for us as light workers, our star seeds, as twin flames, because many people use these labels, but the true meaning of that is what's actually important. How connected are you to source? How connected are you to your own self? How well do you know yourself? How happy are you in your life? Like, how do you manifest that in your life? How do you share? How do you float through life? Because there are so many ways of being. We don't have to be like our parents. We don't have to be like society wants us to be. We don't have to be any certain way, shape, form, nothing. You can be whatever you want to be. And whatever nurtures your soul, your heart more. That's what we came here to do. Because if we don't have that anchored in us, if we don't have that knowing, that trust, that confidence, that even that surrender in God, in the divine plan, in the understanding that everything is just as it should be, if we are shaky in that, that's our foundation. And that's when, we can go into perhaps, believing things that aren't really resonating with us, or feeling like, oh, probably this person knows more than me, so I'm just going to believe them. Or, we can go into self-doubt, self-sabotage, and sort of like stop the good things from coming into our lives, or stop the well-being from coming into our lives because we are not used to it, or because we weren't taught how to be that or be in that. And I can totally relate to that, like, and especially also starseeds and everything. Like, anyone who's awakened right now, really, most of us were born into these very difficult families, difficult environments, maybe places where there is a lot of injustice, war, crime, you name it, and also especially in the twin flame collective, the divine feminine, divine masculine, I've had very strong experiences with gender, with, even assault, sexual assault, violence, all these things that, of course, we go through them so that we learn faster and so that we learn how to heal. And then, we are able to heal others, and we're able to show the path to others, and we're able to say, I made it and I was this close to not making it. You can make it, right? Hi, Heather. Oh, thank you, Kylie. Thank you, Noelle. So I want to share this because I know there's a part of us that sometimes goes a little bit into the, into the drama, or into the, even into just like into sadness, or into isolation, or into feeling lonely, feeling misunderstood, or feeling, like you really don't fit in, or that you're weird, and there's this loneliness that most of the starseeds carry. Hi, DJ. Welcome. And I'm doing this because it's in the heart. Like it's sort of like a heartbreak from just being in the world. The sensitivity is so high, and we feel everything so much that we literally are able to feel the suffering of the world, the suffering of the people, the suffering of the animals. And that is very, very hard. And people who are not born that way, who are not in that structure yet, let's say, who are not as sensitive, they won't understand what you're talking about. Like, even if you explain it to them, they won't be able to grasp, because they are not at that in that place yet. Mm-hmm. So it can become a very lonely journey sometimes, or a very confusing journey, because most of our caretakers, parents, whatever, they usually don't really know what to do with us, with children like us, right? But the thing is that also, like, even that, and I hope everybody has great guidance moving on forward. But for example, in my case, that I didn't really have any sort of guidance in that way, and was more like left to do, left alone to do. It was like a curse, but it was also a blessing, because I was able to, even though through a lot of fire and a lot of mistakes and a lot of like really going into the wrong direction, but I was able to explore that and somehow find my way. Of course, I see that now, and I recognize that now. When it was happening, I was feeling really bad, and I was feeling very lonely, and I was feeling very desperate, and I was really like wishing and hoping with all of my heart that I would find a teacher, that I would find a spiritual teacher. Like I would pray for that every day. That was my greatest hope when I was like 17, 18, like, I don't know, people were praying for other things, maybe a car or something. And I was like, please, I want to meet my spiritual teacher. Like, where is he or where is she? And, like they say, ask and you shall receive. I did meet then. I started meeting my spiritual teachers, and there were many of them. It wasn't what I had envisioned. I never had someone that was there with me all the time or that I could ask questions all the time. But they were there in their way. And even just seeing them once in a while or knowing that they existed changed my whole view of myself. And I also understood deeper why we are here and why we come here in that way. Because when we're younger, it may seem like this is so unfair, like, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to go through all this? Why do I have ascension symptoms? Why do I have the dark night of the soul? Or why do I feel crazy? Why do I feel alone and whatever, or why did I lose everything? But if you're going through any of that right now, I can tell you that it will get better. And you will solve, you will resolve, and you will come out from that. Especially, the faster rather, if you start cultivating your practice more, your awareness more, and your connection to God. Because the more you open that connection, you really start to understand. And you stop questioning so much everything, like, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why hasn't this happened? Where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I? Which are good questions. But when you connect to your soul, when you connect to God deeper, and you develop that intuition, that communication with God on a regular basis, and it doesn't mean that you're going to hear God's voice. Like, the information really comes however it's best for you to understand it. But you start to build that repertoire, and when you have that sufficiently anchored, it's like you expand. Your consciousness expands. And then what you couldn't see before, you're now able to see. What you couldn't perceive before, now you're able to perceive. And you really didn't have to do anything. You just had to allow yourself to live more from the soul rather than from the mind. So that's very, very condensed and very, very simplified. But even if you just set your intention, like, I'm going to live today from my soul. Soul, guide me. Let's go. You will see how your day will unfold differently. And when you see your mind stepping in or coming in with bad news or raining on your parade, because usually the mind does that because it's used to doing that until we sort of like balance the mind again, And either way, there will always be this like polarity with the mind. So it's good because we are able to assess things and we're able to, not jump out of a building and things like that. But when it comes to your spiritual development, your development as a soul, your development also as a human, most of us in our human lives, we don't develop ourselves enough in all the areas that we need to develop because we have patterns from the mind that say we shouldn't do it, or it's dangerous, or you're not good enough. Like that wound of like abandonment and self-esteem that can be also traced, you know, all the way up to, sorry about that motorcycle, that can be traced, you know, all the way up to God and to us like coming in here. Those are wounds that we need to heal and to say, you know what, I came here because I knew that I had something to do here. Maybe I have no clue yet what it is, but I know that my life is taking me through exactly that which I'm meant to do here. When we start thinking like that, then we start developing more trust or confidence. And we are able to do things like, you know, walk without seeing, for example. Like we don't know how capable we are of anything until we really like step into becoming that. And until we let go of the things that were preventing us from experiencing that. Hi, Louise. Yes, Allison, the sacred wound. Yeah, of course, first wound. And, you know, there's also this like thought process, like, you know, amongst light workers and sometimes like these communities, but that, you know, it's so wrong here and everything is so bad in the world. And it's very important that we always are able to gain perspective so that we're able to do our work here. I understood this when I was pretty young and it was very forced on me. But, you know, it's like when there are moments of crisis, you always have two people, right? Like if there's like, I don't know, well, here in Mexico, we have like a lot of earthquakes, right? Or just had a hurricane. We have a lot of natural phenomena that is very strong and it has caused a lot of damage and deaths and everything. So people are actually, a lot of people are very, very afraid of it. But there are, let's say, well, there are more, but let's say two types of people. When an emergency occurs or when there's danger, fire, whatever it is, there's the people who don't know what to do, you know, and they even, the fear even paralyzes them, you know, they go into shock. And then there's the people who somehow are able to remain calm. And those are the people who help the people who are in shock and take them out and you know, help rescue others and things like that, right? So we are here, and let's say that the world is in a stage of, yes, needing a little bit of help, you know, needing a lot of clearing, a lot of redefining, a lot of, but also through the feminine, a lot of creating, like a lot of letting go of the old structures and create and birth new ways, new structures, new ways of thinking, feeling, being as a human being, right? Like redefining what it means to be here and what we're doing. And for the first time in history, we're starting to have a glimpse, and more people than ever before are starting to awaken to that, to the higher purpose, to the higher plan, to the divine plan, to understanding that we are not here just to work and reproduce, you know, have children and die, right? That there's so much more to us, and that there's so much more to consciousness, and that there's so much more to the planet itself, to the atmosphere, to where we're living. And this comes from our connection to what we're not able to see, right? And touch and feel. And very miraculously, or very surprisingly, so much of what is really happening is happening without us knowing about it, right? Like, even as a little child, I don't know if you guys had this, but like the biology course, when you had the microscope, right? And you could take a leaf or something and just watch it. And it was like this feeling like, wow, it looks like a world inside of this leaf, you know? And I see leaves all the time, but I had never had, you know, the capacity or the tool to look at it this close and to really look at it and see what it really is. And I feel like at a collective level, that's what we are doing right now. Like, we all have our little magnifying glasses or microscopes, and we're starting to see like, oh my God, this is more, there's more to this, there's more to that, there's more to me, there's more to love, there's more to partnership, there's more to connection, there's more to, you know, what we are to each other as human beings. So it is a wonderful time as well. So we have both things together. And they, in nature, they are not fighting with each other. They coexist in order to create the perfect balance. That's the whole mission. And we see that in all our ecosystems. Like, if one species that eats the other one dies, then there's an imbalance. And then, of course, nature has to do its thing. And even if you observe nature, because people are like, oh, well, nature and it's so calm and peaceful. Yes, but sit down 20 minutes there and just see, like, me in my garden when I am in the coast, I see tragedies all the time in nature, you know. Like, once I was just like looking at this little bird, I was like, hey, birdie. Then a big one came and flew him off and took him, you know, to eat. I was like, what? And these things happen all the time in nature. And it's not good or bad. And so, of course, you know, the more conscious beings we become, the more, of course, we are responsible of our choices, and we're responsible of what we're doing with the world, of what we're doing with our lives, especially. But the gaining of consciousness and the gaining of understanding and the practice of love and the practice of compassion and the practice of forgiveness has to start here and has to anchor here. That's what we call the union. That's why it's important to be like united from within and not be, you know, judging yourself or judging parts of you. When, you know, the more that you can sort of like come into this balance and let yourself, like, your negative and your positive coexist and see it as, okay, everything is teaching me something, then it's even easier to let go of the things that you want to let go. And it's easier to focus and to create and to recreate and amplify the things that you actually want. So, as light workers, like I was saying, we're in a moment where most of humanity is in this emergency, especially, I mean, humans, because there's like a huge gap between what was and what is now with technology and with all the advancements that we have. And there's like a big gap, and also a big gap in spirituality, even like in everything, in all areas. But I think the most, let's say, the one that unites everything, which for me personally is spirituality, there has been a split there too, because of the old teachings, because of certain old teachers, and because many things got corrupted, even, you know, like our politics, like our systems, like nothing was untainted in a way, with all the polarity and everything that was going on. But so that is the opportunity for us, and that's also why we came here, to help in this like reconciliation of the old and the new, and then starting to become so neutral in a way that we're able to forgive what was, to forgive ourselves, our families, our lineages, all our karmatic, our karmic load and burden that we were used to, we were taught in the older spirituality to, that's you have to carry it and sacrifice and all that. No, we're like, we honor that, we honor our ancestors, we honor our lineages, we honor who we were, because we have been all of that too. We honor that we did the best that we could with what we had, and now we can build. We can do the same for us every day, like honor, you know what, I did the best I could today. Maybe I'll do better tomorrow if something didn't go well or whatever. But going with that attitude forward, where there is constructive criticism, if there is criticism, or if there's something that you can improve, we can always improve. We are always advancing more in the light, but it should also be a process where we're cultivating love and forgiveness and understanding and awareness towards ourselves and towards others, so that it's really truly an advancement. The more coherent we become in ourselves, and the more it's like we start to unravel whatever was tangled within us, we start to unravel. And then sometimes we go like, why was I thinking that? Or why was I acting that way? Like, where was this coming from? Oh, maybe it came from this. But I don't need that anymore. So let me just untangle this. Let me let go of that. And let me find a different way. Now when this happens again, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to be in a state of peace and help, Of course, we understand that when there are emergencies and things, like, there is a lot of upheaval, but the thing with spirituality and with spiritual practice is that we are like the firefighters, right? We practice every day, we practice every week, we exercise, we are ready to go any day. The same like doctors, like maybe they don't have surgery in 3 days, but they know that if in the 4th they have surgery or they call at 3 a.m. in the morning, they need to be ready. So that's what we do, and that's how we actually become able to be the calm person when everything is on fire and to guide people towards a safe place. And you don't have to be like a super evolved in whatever. You just have to have the disposition, and the willingness to do something for someone else, or to share your love and to share your compassion. And with that, you already activate that, and you can be there for someone else. You can be there for someone else now, every day. And that's what we do as spiritual beings, as awakened beings, in our spiritual practice. We do that every day. We meditate every day. We practice every day, whether it's a good or bad day. So when the bad days come, we are like, I'm ready for this. And when the good days come, we enjoy them so much more too. Mm-hmm. And things will come. Like I always say, like, things happen for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what you do. Good and bad things happen to everybody in the planet. So we have to be just ready, to when the bad things happen, we have our tools, we're ready. And when the good things happen, we are ready to enjoy them too, and we receive. Because we also get a lot of our nurturance from enjoying when things are going good. from being happy, from enjoying a moment, even if it lasts 3 hours or 2 or 1 or 10 minutes, you know? Those are also gifts, and the more that we see them as gifts, the more they show up in our lives. Instead of focusing on the one thing that I want and, you know, if this happens, my life would change. You can just, you know, start small and say, you know what, I would love to, you know, enjoy, I don't know, an ice cream with my friend today and laugh a little with her or with him. Just go do that. Do what you can with what you have today. Not tomorrow. And then today becomes tomorrow, and you start adding up, and you actually create a ton of good karma. And then what happens? That ton of good karma gets multiplied and returns to you. And then we call it, oh, I have a lot of good luck. But you have actually been doing well for yourself and for others. That's the easiest way, and I teach this a lot. I don't think I have said it lately so much because I haven't done these lives. But giving and, you know, being there for someone else, giving love, helping, doing things from your heart, from the goodness of your heart, that all of that creates so much good karma that if you feel especially that you're in a place where you have a lot of like negative stuff happening and everything breaks down, and, you know, that means that maybe you had a little bit of karma to settle from either this lifetime or from past lifetimes. We all have our amount of karma, and in different areas of our lives too. But every time we choose love, even when we're in the fire of things, even when we're hurt, even when we're broken, even when people are not nice to us, even when people, like, especially when people are like that, like, especially when someone is mean to you and you're able to say, you know what, I forgive you and God bless you, you know, that's like a big point there. Like, you help, not because you're helping that person too, by not judging them, by forgiving them. And by doing that, you're forgiving the part of you that may have done that to someone else sometime, somewhere. We don't know. And that's why also with the whole like twin flame and all love relationships and relationships between men and women, we have to be very careful how we address them, how we speak about them, you know, how we speak about men, how we speak about women, because there has been so much said and done in these definitions, you know, and also, you know, in everything in between, you know, and all kinds of beings. But there's so much like charge that sometimes we do it unconsciously, like just because someone, you know, like a friend says, oh my God, you're like, all men are terrible. And then you're like, yeah, all men are terrible. And you're like, well, not really. Like, my dad's pretty cool. Like, my friend, my cousin. Wait, like, why am I saying that, you know? So, of course, we relate to experiences where someone or, you know, some male figure wasn't nice to us. But when we do that, we like perpetrate that energy and we make that belief system stronger. We feed it more energy, especially because it's a collective thought. You can see what happens with athletes or with celebrities or with, you know, imagine like in a box match or even when there are disputes between artists or celebrities or things like that. Like the amount of thoughts about them that are there because they're in the public eye is like thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts. And because we live in polarity, they get so much praise and they get also so much hate. They get both. So many times that's why celebrities from the beginning or when they're small or whatever, they have a really, really hard time because a lot of like huge amounts of energy are impacting their field on a regular basis. And they are receiving all these negative energies, also positive, so you may balance it a little bit, but still, we as sensitive beings, we receive that. And even people seeing us in a public space, like even if you're in a magazine, all the people that look at you, especially for example men, if they're looking at a woman, they will connect to that woman's chakra, especially sexual chakra, the knees. And the woman, even if she's a model or whatever, she will feel it energetically. And it may drain her. It may drain her energy. They may become paranoid. They may have a lot of anxiety. We impact each other so much. And when we do, like when we say bad things or think a negative thought about someone, we're also creating that karma with that person. So either with that person it's coming back, or we're going to receive it from somewhere else. And we will learn the lesson. Let's not, think negative thoughts or send negative energies to people. But we can sort of it's like tip the scale to the other side when we practice self-love, love, compassion, and forgiveness. When we give freely, we are not going to deplete ourselves from giving love. When you give love, you feel like the world is your oyster. Like you can do anything. When we're in that state of love, when the love is unconditional, it doesn't have a limit. You can love 30,000 people if you want. It's not limited to one person or to your family or to your dog. You can love the universe. You can love the stars. Because your love is just recognizing your connection to everything. So when we consciously practice this and we send love, we send healing, when we help people who are in a place where we were before, or even if they're in the same spot as we are, but we help them, that energetically helps you too. You are cutting the chains of suffering from that person, but also from yourself. So true love and loving freely is liberating. It is never conditional. It is not. It's not depleting. It's not going to, lose your. No, no. You won't lose anything. You will gain everything. The more you give, the more you love. And of course, I'm not saying overextend yourself to everybody energetically. That's something different. We have to also address that, because it's not like, oh, well, let me just go, with my divine masculine or whatever, and just no. You can do that in the ethereal, respecting their boundaries or whoever's boundaries, or family, dogs, friends. You can always bless with all the love in the world. You can do it as a ritual every day, every night before you go to bed. If you're feeling that love and you want to give it, give it. Or even bless yourself in the mirror, or even go like this. You can always, or rather the left hand, put your left hand here, right in your heart, and then just bless yourself. And that's one of the most powerful acts that you can do, because we are divine beings and we are magical beings. And we don't need to wait for anyone to give us permission to be who we are, and to bless and to love and to give and to grow and to become, and also to make mistakes. We're also here to make mistakes. And no one is judging you for that. like your guides, your angels. Like sometimes people tell like, oh, but like, what if God is watching me? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you are God. You're watching yourself, right? but your guides, your team, like everybody who is working with you, they're working with you, and they chose you, and you chose them, and they're a part of you. And in some point, when as we advance, as we ascend, you're going to merge with those guys. They are going to become you because they're already you in the higher spheres. Here it's where we feel like we're separated, and that it's a little bit more settling for the human mind. So many times, when I say my guides or my angels or this, I don't see them as separate, as like a separate thing from me. They're part of me, like let's say like an ethereal version of me in an in a higher dimension, right? With different talents and shapes and qualities and all that. But they're still a part of me. So that's why we are also not to be afraid of our guides and our inner guidance. And like if you see them or hear them, of course, always, doing things with protection. And if there's anything unsettling, then it's not like that is your key, that they're not your guides, and that maybe some other aspect of you is playing out, because we also have our demons, and I know it's a strong word and people get scared, but like we also have our shadows. And especially in the beginning of the journey, we see a lot of our shadows. They come out to play, they come out to say hi, and we see them and we acknowledge them, and then they're able to go. Just like the things that we judge of ourselves, about ourselves, when we just acknowledge them, see them with love, then they just like calm down and they're able to go. Diseases also sometimes work like that, because the body was just trying to show you something that you weren't seeing. So it acted out so you can see it. When you see it with love, it's like, okay, she saw it, I can move on. Let's bring health again. Okay, guys, I hope this made sense. Yeah. Okay, so let me just answer a couple of questions really quick, and then we'll go to the healing. Okay. So, what we had. Okay. So, Valerie was saying, it'd be great if you could give us any advice regarding spiritual businesses, manifesting clients aligned with us and feeling worthy of charging for our services. Yeah, that's a good question. We do a lot of that in Brave. We go through step by step, but we're going to do a very the key points of what I think is the most important. And surprisingly, it's not about how you do your marketing or what color is your logo, your picture, or all those things. It's about first, and especially when you're starting to serve, it's very important that you are very clear on why you're serving. Like, why am I doing this? Why am I even going through all of this? Okay. And always having that thought and that energy when you do anything related to your work. So, it can be as easy as, I want to bring light to people, or I want to bring faith or hope to people like me, or help them find what I found, whatever your reason is. And from that, you can start to, you have to do the inner work first, like in everything. Aligning with what you want. Like, how would my spiritual business look like? How would I feel good about this? And it can be a spiritual business, it can be anything that you're wanting to manifest. Like, how would it look like? Start envisioning. How would my morning look like? What would I do? What do I see myself doing? How do I see my website looking? Everything, whatever. But it's like dreaming it, like creating a beautiful dream, like a beautiful scenery of how it would work for you. Even how much you would like to earn, even how many clients you would like to have. And it can change, through, because of course we're not going to start with the same as when we are far along in the journey, but just for the start, to have that very clear. And of course, also always asking God to guide you, to do the things that you need to do in order to manifest that which you want. Mm-hmm. And you have to think about this. I mean, you don't have to, but you probably should, or it would be good if you do this exercise every day. Mm-hmm. And then the other side is also, are you putting yourself out there? Because that's one of the things that I see with healers and with spiritual workers, that there's like a little bit of resistance of coming out, of showing our face. And I include myself there because I was also very, very shy in the beginning, and like I didn't really want to show myself like I'm doing right now. And it was scary. But it's like, if I, like what I understood from the beginning was that if I don't tell people that I'm here to help, how are they going to know? Like, how are we going to get clients if people have no idea who you are and what you do and where you are, right? So it's very like very elemental, but it's a very important part, because I know that this is one part that really that a lot of light workers struggle with. So if you're feeling that resistance or that block to put yourself out there, or to tell people, to tell your family, or you don't know how to do it, my advice is do everything as simple as possible with no expectations. Like, one of the things my teacher, Yogi Bhajan, he always said, like, do you know why Sikhs dress in white? And everybody was like, well, because the energy and this and that. He was like, yes, but no. Like, the real reason is because if you're anywhere in the world and you need help and there's something happening, you are able to recognize us. You're able to recognize that there is a Sikh there, and that person can help spiritually, right? Or at least the Sikhs that he was training at that time, because there's many different kinds, and some are healers, some are not healers. But the point is, like, that people are able to see and know that you are actually there for them. So that is one of the most important things. How are you telling people that you're there? Where can they find you? Are you making yourself available? And when we start, sometimes it just takes like the courage to tell your friends, your family, and not in a way like, oh, now I'm a light worker and I do this. And just like, if you see that someone is struggling, or if you see that someone has a pain, or if you see that there's a person that you could help, be brave enough. That's what it's called, brave. Be brave enough to offer your help from your heart. Just saying, you know what, I do this, and maybe I can help you. I have been doing this and this, and I did this for myself. Maybe if you're interested, I would be happy to assist you with that. And people are very scared to do that because they think, oh, they're going to judge me, they're going to think I'm crazy, or they're going to think whatever. But they won't. I can guarantee you, like 99% of the time, the person will be like, oh yeah, awesome. Oh, that sounds nice. Oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Or maybe they'll be like, oh, that sounds great, but you know, I don't feel like I need it right now. Did you lose anything? No, you just gained practice. Okay. So doing that a lot and becoming comfortable with who you are and with being who you are around people and showing the new you, the new you, just sharing the new you with the world. And if it's something that is hard to do, just always have in the back of your mind, you're not doing this for you. You're doing this for all the people that will benefit from you telling them and expressing and offering your gift or your healing or whatever you are giving. Mm-hmm. Third thing, and this is also very important, if you want people to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself. And you have also, ideally, you should learn how to invest in others just as much as you want people to invest in you. Because nothing is ever a one-way street. Even if we offer, energetic, we offer sometimes, in energy work, it's very difficult to actually put a price on stuff, right? Some other things are more practical, maybe, but it's also like maybe a person will benefit tremendously and they will be like, I could pay you 1 million for what you taught me. And then maybe another one is like, oh, thank you. You healed my little finger. Thank you. That person probably won't pay you like 1 million, right? So it's very um, like very personal in a way. But with the prices, it has to feel good to you. Like you have to feel that it's an equal exchange, energetic exchange. And how do you know that? When you're not depleting yourself after every session. That's one way to know. You can also know other ways why you're getting depleted, but it can be one of the signs. And it should feel also exciting to you. Just as it feels exciting to the other person to have a treatment with you or whatever, it should feel exciting to you to do that with that person. So coming into that energetic balance and alignment, and when you have it, you just set that, and then also practicing investing in yourself. So, for example, just a quick example, like if you're a coach and you are asking for so and so amount from your patient, then it's good to invest that so and so amount in your own coach. Mm-hmm. Why? Because if you are not able to give, how are you going to receive? Mm-hmm. So you can always use that parameter to like, what would I like? How would that feel exciting to me? What offer would feel exciting to me? And like, if that offer was so exciting, would I pay this price? And if the answer is yes, then you have your price. And then you can also invest that in yourself through someone else, right? I mean, that's my advice, especially because when you do that, it's like you are understanding firsthand what it takes to invest in yourself. And because you do that, you also start to attract people who know what it means to invest in themselves and who know that it's not about the price or the money or whatever, but it's about what they are going to receive from you. And sometimes it can be a life change, a complete life change for that person. And there's no way to pay that. I've had experiences where I worked with people and I was like, what can I, like, like, what this is nothing, you know, like in the way that I'm feeling what you have given to me. Like, this is invaluable, and I will carry this in my heart forever, and into my other lifetimes. So there's this beauty also in that, you know, in what we give and receive, and perhaps starting to see things like that, and money like that. It will help you, you know, take all of the other belief systems or whatever and find your own way of relating to that. Find your own way of relating to abundance. Find your own way of feeling good about the work that you're doing. Because really, the money is just a number. And of course, you know, geometry, mathematics, whatever, the numbers are important. But it's more important that you have the energetics down before you even write the number. And that you're confident enough in yourself that, you know, I've done this. Like, for example, for me, all the programs that I have done, or the things that I do, I know how to set the price, let's say, because I know what I'm offering, because I have done programs in the exact same price or more, and I know what I got from them, you know, materially, let's say, or like in the 3D. Of course, in the spiritual, with some you get so much, and with some you don't get that much, you know, or maybe you get something and you use it down the line. We don't know. But the, like, just the act of, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to, even if it's just like booking a massage or doing something very small. You know, when I started, the first time that I went to a massage, I was crying out of joy. It was not that long ago. It was like 3 years ago, or something like that, or 2.5 years ago. And when I felt what it feels like to be held, I'm getting teary again, to be held and to just, you know, to be able to let go and know that this other person is taking care of me. Like, I understood how people feel when they come to me, you know? And more than that, I was so in awe of all the people in the world who do this on a regular basis. And I stopped feeling so alone too. Like, even if their work is different and whatever, but it's still, and even if you pay for it, you can't pay for that feeling of, you know, just being received and being able to let go and be vulnerable and just receive. I mean, especially for me, because I also haven't been so accustomed to that, and I have to train myself literally to do that. I have to be very strict with my receiving, because otherwise I won't, because that's how I was programmed from childhood. I didn't get anything. So when I received that, it was like, this is oneness, you know? It has nothing to do with the price, not the price. It's just this connection and this like give and receive, and this exchange of energy that in one moment can change everything. And I was crying. The woman was like, "What? Are you okay?" And she thought, you know, it was maybe processing emotion, which probably it was too, but I was very happy. I was crying tears of joy, of just saying like, thank you for receiving me in this way, you know? Okay, so I hope that helped, darling. Okay. And let me know if you have any other questions. But energetically getting those 3 things or 4 things down, and then just putting the legwork. Like, after you have that very clear, how am I going to get myself out there? How am I going to put stuff out there, you know? And start sharing your stuff, start giving. Also, you know, giving and giving free offers, free everything, because if we don't give, how can we receive? Again, the same thing. So share what you have, share what you want, share it open-heartedly, share it with the knowing that you're creating something beautiful, and that just by you sharing that, it will also return someday, somehow. And probably it will return. It will return way before you actually expect it. Okay? Have faith in God, and be like, yes, I'm here, let's do this, let's go all in. Okay? There's no guarantees. No, that is something that we don't have. None of us. We don't have guarantees, but it's easier to live with that understanding, so we also don't create expectations, so that we also enjoy the moment and we enjoy everything that we get, whether it's good, bad, small, big. Like, just like a little child, if you tell them, oh, you're gonna get a toy, and they have no expectation of the toy, like if you give him a spoon, he'll be like, yeah, it's a spoon. You know, that's how we are. It's not about the gift, it's about the act, and we can create so much with everything that we give and receive. Okay. Hi, dear Luna. Hi, Linda. Hi, Miss L. Okay. D. We've been trying to transition from the corporate world. Yeah. Come to a session if you want. We can work on that. Or maybe I'm also doing the full moon ceremony on the, what is it? I'm sorry, guys. I've had my throat like that all day. On the 14th. I actually put details below in the other video. It didn't work, but I'll put them back here. But for anyone who wants to donate, and I say it as an opportunity because, you know, as we give, we receive. But I will be, all the donations that we get from this full moon, I will give them to a foundation. Well, it's a foundation, but like a little, I guess, foundation that is helping all the people who suffered from the hurricane. And they still, many places don't have food, don't have water, don't have electricity, people lost their homes, everything, like everything. And then there was a fire because there was a short circuit. So a lot happened in that part. And you know, it's, I mean, even if it wasn't my home, but it's a very magical place, and it has been suffering a lot, especially in nature, because so many people have been going there to live now. It became very touristic through the pandemic. So a lot of things have been going on, and I think when that happens, like nature, Mother Nature always reacts somehow. So this happened. So anyway, just so you guys know, if you want to join on the 14th, we're going to do something like this, but we're going to go very deep into twin flame. I also wrote that in there because there are many actualizations. There are many things happening, and we will talk about that. So if you want to, if you want to join, you can join below. Okay. Let me just go through the last question that they wrote before. I always try to go in order so I don't, you know, miss people. And this was from the community. Well, I think I kind of already answered this. Oh, there was this question from V from social media, about social media being draining. And she says, I want to share sometimes with people as a way to be a positive light. by being who I am or doing card readings, but then I feel tired from it? Is it okay to stay off it as I don't feel made for it? I'm wondering if I need it for my creative stuff, or if that will just naturally unfold without me having to have a social platform. Okay. So for B, it really depends. It depends on you. Like, there are two things. Also, in this goes into with a little bit with Valerie's question. Sometimes, in order to show up, we have to do things that are uncomfortable. Like for me, I had to show up, here, and it's not something that you like. It's something that starts to grow, I think, organically, and you start seeing how can I better serve? Will this serve the people better? And usually when it's a purpose that is part of your mission and that is not really you, it's very easy to make those sacrifices or to even become the best version of you or become very fearless. Because you know that if you do that, you're going to help so many other people. You're going to connect more with other people. So it has to be, again, something that feels good and that you feel good by connecting with other people, and that you really feel like your purpose is serving in this way. And you don't have to start big. Like I always say, start small. Like, start with one client, with one patient, to see how it goes, see how they feel, adjust, regroup if you need to regroup, go back out there. Like, you don't have to start like boom, like, here I go. Like, some people do that. Some people do that and get burnt out. Some people are not prepared and they do that. Some people are prepared and don't do it. So I have seen everything, and we have all kinds of combinations. But it always has to feel good and exciting for you. Like, for example, when I started my YouTube channel, I felt like, wow, like every time, and I don't know if you guys saw my previous, like my first videos, but I would spend hours creating the videos. I still spend hours creating my meditations, but back then I did more like talking and videos and paired the videos with the talking until I didn't have more space and technical skills. But I didn't have them also back then, but I just felt so happy expressing what I had never been able to properly express, and so clearly, I was really enjoying this part of me. So if you're enjoying it, go for it. For me, enjoying it, sometimes it meant that I would stay up until 3, 4 in the morning, working all day, working almost all night to put the video out there and be like, oh, I have two people watching, or I have 1 subscriber or 2. And it was really, I was very excited. It was really beautiful and rewarding, just as now. Like it doesn't change. Like when I hear from you, when I hear comment, when it's the same magical energy, because I know that this is what I'm meant to do. So when you're meant to do something, that gives you so much power to go through anything that you may face. And sometimes there are things that are very hard, and sometimes you don't even make any money at all, or you don't have a compensation like other people would, or you have to go without sometimes for a while, but you're still doing it because this is what you know that you're meant to do. And sometimes we need that curve and that time to balance and to adjust. When I started, and I have said this and shared sometimes, I think more in Brave and so on, but when I started, I charged like very, very, very little for one session. I usually took like 2 hours, and I had sessions all day, every day. I worked even on Sundays, like Saturday and Sunday. And it wasn't a small period of time. It was a long period. It was like more than like 2 years or so. So, but I had, I had the energy and the stamina to do it because I felt really happy. And every time that I saw a smile after a healing, I was like, even if I hadn't charged anything, you know, and that's why also we as light workers need to learn how to balance our energetic exchange, because of course after the period of that I also burnt out and had many things. So it's part of what I teach, what not to do based on what I did. But so thank you, DJ. But so that something is hard, or that something has its things where we need to manage, it doesn't mean that it's not right. So you have to really go inside and say, is this the way for me to share? Is this the way for me to express? Or is this the way that feels good for me to start sharing? And maybe it's not that social media, maybe it's another social media, or maybe it's having like an email list, or maybe it's having a Facebook page. Like, there's so many ways. The thing is that it has to work for you. I was completely overwhelmed when I started my Instagram. I was like, what am I doing? And now I really enjoy it. But then I did my Instagram in a way that I enjoyed doing it, and I enjoyed especially being able to record things very easily and share them, boom, like really, really fast with you guys, and being able to connect with you on a daily basis, right? When I'm in YouTube, well, we don't connect so much on a daily basis because it's a lot of technology. It takes a lot of more things to set up and do, and sometimes we're in the go. So, but I only opened my Instagram very late, like I think after 2 years of having my YouTube channel. And it is like a lot of work to get it rolling, to connect there. So, but there are stages and moments. So you won't get things that you're not able to handle, but you also, especially if you're serving others, you will get inspired to be better, to do more than you actually thought that you were capable of doing. And you will be able to master things that maybe you thought, I'm never going to do that. I never thought that I was going to be singing in my videos. And, that's what happened. And I was scared to share my light language because I thought, people are going to think that I'm very crazy or weird. And when I actually did it and overcame my fear, and then I saw how many people connected and they felt as weird as I did, I literally cried. Like, you have no idea, guys, how many times I cry with your messages, with your feedback, with just being able to do this together. It's very, very magical and powerful and potent, and it's beyond what I could have ever imagined. So finding that balance between how much you can stretch and if it really has a purpose. If it has a purpose for the well-being of the others, of the ones that you're serving, I will always say yes. And, also it allows us to overcome our own ego fears, like maybe I was just giving too much importance to this and maybe it's not even so important, maybe I can overcome it because it's going to benefit so much. So we get this power through oneness. Okay. Okay, my love. So let's just get ready for the healing, okay? It won't be as long because I had an appointment. I have to go in a little bit, but I always run a little bit over. Let me just check here. And then we go. You can drink water meanwhile and lay down, prepare your space, and we'll just dive into the healing. So let's just check what minute we are. I have no idea, but okay. Oh, thank you, Fernanda. No, it's really like that. And you know, I know all of you. I know all of your names. I know like all the people who write, the ones who write more, the ones who are here, the ones who are there, the ones who connect with me on Instagram, the ones who connect with me here on YouTube, the ones that connect with me, you know, through Brave or more privately or through the sessions. I never understood that sense of collective because I always felt so alone. And since I've been here with you guys, I just really understand in the flesh what it means to be working together. And that's why I always say, you are not alone. We are not alone. We are really, each of us are holding a specific thing or theme that we're healing, and we're working together. Even us just being here together, we are co-creating that, and we're going to expand that now so that many other people can also heal and feel that way and find their community and find their purpose and find their sense of self and find their healing. Because we, you know, no one is perfect. Like, you know, I try to tell and incorporate that in my stories when I talk to you guys, but you know, there were some points where I just felt like nothing, and like very overtaken by many things, and I understand what it feels to feel like that. And even though, you know, people say, oh, but you're so happy all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy all the time now. But I went through a lot of things, you know, and I had as many things as one can imagine, maybe even more, you know, and that sort of made me who I am. But I had to go through that too, and I still go through many things, you know, because we're human. We all are meant to do that. And even also working with you guys or working with people, I also see the suffering of people every day. Every day I have people who come to me seeking answers, seeking love, seeking understanding, and some people that are going through really, really tough things or illnesses. So I had to become this strong through everything that I went through in order to be able to stand in the fire with you, holding you guys' hand, you know, or whoever comes. If I wouldn't have all those experiences, I would probably, you know, I would have felt it so much with you that I wouldn't be able to help you come out of it. So if you're going through that, know that sometimes it's also because someday, somehow, sometime, you are going to show someone how you made it out of there, and you're going to take them out of there. And that's what we do for each other. Getting emotional again. And all of you guys, like, you gave me the greatest gift ever. That was like really discovering who I am and why I'm here. You know, and I wouldn't have done that without you guys. So thank you. And I'll stop crying. I'll just go into the healing. Okay. But thank you from my heart. So let's just start breathing in. You can close your eyes. Start breathing in deeply. And I'm starting to see these violet spheres coming down from the heavens, all the way down, surrounding your body, surrounding your field. And they're purple, and they have blue in the center. They also have this silver light on the outside, like a silver fire. And we're going to ask that they start cleansing all of your field and the space around you. And they start spinning, connecting also down to the earth, creating a very stable, kind of looks like a cocoon, where you feel the warmth, where you feel like you can relax. You can be held by God, by the Divine Father, the Divine Mother. We're starting to see all of your angels, your guides, coming in through this beautiful silver ray. And they start to activate through your central channels, cleansing, clearing, releasing any, you look like old blocks, any energies that are old, especially old knowledge, old preconceptions of yourself, of the world, of your spirituality, of yourself as a spiritual being. Ayaki, 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 teria, we're connecting to all of your star lineages, receiving a lot of love from them, a lot of light surrounding you, and a lot of activations to feel like the group who's here and also who will be listening afterwards and being strongly activated in your purpose, your mission, especially in your understanding and deeper awakening of who you truly are while you're here. So you're starting to connect the dots, starting to connect your light bodies, releasing all of the entanglement through the old spheres, releasing all of the entanglement through the dark ages, through the old age, and also releasing all the entanglements through the grids, the lower grids of earth, releasing all of the connections to these artificial grids that are basically broadcasting fear, pain, sorrow, need, and also this tendency to feel like you never have enough, consumerism and all that. Yarasha, Hare Yata, Harita, Yash, Awash, Ete, Yuta, Mari, Ya, Pait, Ayaba, Sheya, Hita, Alayaku, Te, Yashat, Yeah. I'm putting like beautiful pearls all around your body, all around your fields, like lights like light bulbs. They start to ignite all the parts where there was shadow or darkness, bringing the light, and bring also the divine reflection through these green, they're green and rose pink stones. Also gathering around the heart. Any old fabric, any old energetic fabrics that were wrapped around. Any protection, unnecessary protection, or even any numbness, and all energies that are not yours. All these fabrics, veils, frequencies, they're also like radio frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies, releasing them out of the chest, out of the heart, releasing out of the throat. Re-invoking your divine power, your sacred wisdom, and your power to proclaim yourself as divine, as complete, as sovereign, as the light, as successful, as abundant, as creative, as aligned, as whole, as an inspiration for others, as a beautiful, beautiful being, a beautiful, beautiful heart, and a beautiful light that starts shining. The more you see it, the more it shines. It becomes brighter and brighter and brighter. And you nurture it with these words of love. And you nurture it with these sincere words of recognition of your true self. Just like we say to little children how beautiful they are, how loving they are, how much of a blessing they are. That's how you're speaking to yourself now, and that's how God is speaking into your heart now. With the same tenderness and the same understanding of that obvious truth that you are wonderful, capable, beautiful, intelligent, creative. You're loving. You deserve everything. That you're capable of creating everything. Releasing these, it's like as if there were these walls that were like a labyrinth. We're starting to release that, opening up the spaces, opening up through the field, starting to go higher and higher in perspective. So if you were starting to fly, you start to enjoy the view, sky, nature. You start to really taste and feel your freedom for the first time, perhaps. You can just fly now to whatever place brings you comfort. I see many flying into the sacred libraries, the angel cities. We're just coming into the gates and asking for permission to enter with honor, with respect, to enter into your own divine knowledge, to a place, you could say like the Akashic Records, where all of your information is stored, but also all of your hopes, your dreams, and also all of these It's like this divine inspiration that we have as children, this divine knowing of who we're going to be, why we're here. And they look like beautiful rose pink gems, and they're just, your guides are there and they're just giving them to you, and they're being gathered around the heart. All of your capacities, all of these talents, also receiving new, they're like crystal gems, they're blue, purple, green, and gold. Also receiving new gifts, new talents, new skills, and new frequencies to run through your mind and your brain, creating a better environment for your brain cells, for the connections and synapses of your brain cells and brain structure. Yeah, even balancing with the liquid inside of the brain, just balancing the brain. Breathe. Hala, 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 wa adi, Aria Karao Sham wa ayi just receiving this. Now receiving an activation for Divine Feminine, the beautiful red color to the left side of your body field. It's a fiery red. It's activating the power of the Divine Feminine, conscious use of power, the assertiveness, the strength, the courage, the wisdom, the heightened intuition, and it's like the reliance on God, and knowing that God, or that primordial masculine energy, is your, it's like it is who's there for you always, no matter what's happening in the 3D. If this is a primordial relationship between the feminine and the masculine, and its purest state, that you're taken care of by God, that you're taken care of in His arms, that there is this part of God that lives within you, and that is capable of holding all of your gifts, all of your creativity, and to also channel them, to also organize them, to also structure them. So you can rest in the knowing that you are complete. And the same thing, we go to the masculine side now, through the blue. And as we gather here all these pieces, the masculine can also start to relax and come into this union with the primordial feminine energy, Divine Goddess, and feel her ever-giving love, her nurturance, her understanding, acknowledgement of who He is, feeling held. You can also see the masculine being healed from his wounds. They're saying from the wounds of battle, from the wounds of war, especially from the wounds of being at war with themselves. And the part of us that is at war with itself. Through the masculine templates. As we reconcile, we start to clear this. for all generations, for all levels and dimensions, for all expressions, and especially through your multidimensionality, even into the body, into the systems. Starting to relax the nervous system, starting to release that survival mode, instinct, starting to settle in the peace and the awareness of your capabilities, of your true nature, of all that you already provide for the family, creating that space for both of you to feel safe, feel nourished, and feel heard and understood. Now we start to balance both together, all the possible combinations, harmonizing, synchronizing, and bring also the necessary tones and colors for your field. If there need to be any updates, if there need to be any deep fragmentation, if there need to be new connections made and built, it's still all coming in now. Also sacred geometries, frequencies, number, sequences. And they're working a lot with the two. I'm seeing multiples of two. And this is also aligning both energies to the sun. The sun as in the Son of God, the Christ consciousness, but also to the central sun, the cosmic sun. Understanding origin, understanding the principles of light, understanding divine order, divine time, and understanding, I think, how the world goes round, understanding your impact in the world, the ripple effect you create, and understanding how your soul can emanate light, and that light can influence the whole atmosphere, the whole world, and beyond. So they show me a yellow butterfly at the heart of everybody. I can also see like the feminine and masculine holding hands together, holding the butterfly between their hands together, kind of like in a prayer position, standing in front of each other. I'm going to ask that all of these beings, all who are here now, balance and recreate and rebirth all of the codes that are now ready to be born into this earth. We're seeing the golden spirals, 2 Fibonacci spirals working together to gather the codes and deliver them into earth, into the place where you were born, the place where you are now. Establishing divine alignment and also divine, like new grids, new divine connections to Mother Earth in the highest dimensions for you, the appropriate dimensions for you, where it actually feels nurturing to be on Earth, where you can receive all the nutrients, the information, Or you feel like it's easier to walk, like you're walking on clouds. You're able to rest and recuperate better when you rest, when you sleep. Releasing all of the static and all of that, the intermissions, all of the whatever was trying to invade the space, the sacred space. So calling in this beautiful temple. It has a bright fire burning in the center. You can see it as a flame, fire, the fire of the twin flame, of the union. Just seeing it burn and melt all around you, all within you. Everything that doesn't match who you are anymore. We thank it. We let it go gracefully. We ask for the grace, the clarity, the knowledge, the understanding, the freedom, higher knowledge, and the strengthening of our connection to ourselves and to our higher soul, who knows everything about us. We ask all of our guides to start working with you to strengthen this connection each and every single day, each and every single breath. That you start feeling, knowing, and seeing that you have never been alone. It was just an illusion, a feeling, a sensation. But you have always been connected. And they're just placing these big, beautiful codes in the eyes to see more clearly. And they're also the symbol of Om. So just start to see through the eyes of peace, no matter what the world presents to us. Anchoring that peace also in the heart, in the body, in the physical body, and in the physical dimension. They're just connecting to the Maria, Atlantis, to all the ancient civilizations, like coming full circle, igniting the light through all space-time dimension, through all your expressions. We're just going to ask for protection for you, your twin, for all souls. We're going to bless everybody with love, with joy, with divine protection, with divine guidance, divine happiness, with good fortune, with good luck, with abundance, with freedom, with love, with unconditional love, with strength, courage, with determination, and with a deep, deep, deep connection and knowing of their higher soul. Okay, and we're going to seal everything in golden light, strengthening, bringing your shields of light, actualizing your shields, your protection systems, and grounding in neutrality and peace and stillness. So it is, so it is, so it is. And it is done. So very slowly, breathing in deeply, coming back into the body. If you want, you can remain there and just go straight to bed. Continue to receive. And if you want, you can start to come back to your body slowly and breathing in deeply, drinking some water. Okay. You're so welcome. So welcome, TJ. Let me know how you guys feel, okay? You can let me know here, you can let me know in the comments if you want. And if you want, I'll see you in the full moon ceremony, okay, next Tuesday. Just seeing how everybody's doing. Okay. Good. Sending you so much love. Thank you, Lilia. Thank you, Jay. Okay, take care, you guys, okay? There's a lot going on, but I hope that this you will feel more grounded and just more peaceful and organized, you know, your energy more grounded, organized, clear, until we see each other again. Hopefully to last a long, long time. And every time we do this, okay. Okay, my loves. Well, I have to go. It was a pleasure as always to be here with you, and I hope we start doing this more often. I will do my best. Wonderful, Titi. Enjoy. Drink water, okay? And please don't drink alcohol or anything like that. So the energies can, you know, bound. Love you so much. See you guys soon. Bye, Luna. Bye-bye.